Welcome to Deal Talk. I'm Jeffrey Veit. We're going to talk about avoiding dealer tricks and buying smart just like we do every week. The automobile industry doesn't change much over the years. If anything, it's gotten a little bit slicker, I call it. Doesn't matter if you're buying a truck or a boat or a motorhome, all of this applies. But anyway, a crazy coincidence. Last week I talked about electric vehicles, right? The whole episode was about electric vehicles. You know, it's a really important subject right now, I think. This week's Consumer Report Automobile's Best and Worst edition came out. Not the yearly edition. This is April edition. But it's said the best and worst edition. I feel obligated to give some ideas for reviewing if you decide to. First of all, realize a list of good vehicles is probably mostly accurate, except for the order they're printed in. So if you got a best of 20, the whole 20 could be out of order. Number 3 could be number 1, it really doesn't matter. In the list, anywhere in the top half is probably okay. That's the way to look at these lists, I think. In the top half, you're okay. In the bottom half, not so good. And in the middle, it's buyer beware, right? The list of the worst could be accurate, or not, I suppose. If you want to avoid a lemon, stick with their yearly guide. They have a yearly guide that you can go to. If you don't have it, and this, now, and you can't buy it on the newsstands, go to the library. They got it at the library, for sure. And you can look at it for free. And that's the one that's probably the most accurate. At least that's what I think. It's a better edition than the last monthly edition that we talked about, which was the month before, had an owner satisfaction area. Remember, I talked about the best vehicles for owner satisfaction. It didn't talk about electric that much, but it did cover electric vehicles. And it kind of talked about whether they can save you money or not. You must realize they have advertisers and activists that will come after them if they push too much. But the article is vague and biased, although they do address some of the issues like price and are pretty much vague on battery cost and electric charging cost. And they don't go into any of that, but the cost-wise, it's a huge difference. They don't talk about all of the battery problems that go on and safety issues or resale value. Those things didn't come up at all. Nope, they don't talk about those because those aren't areas where the electric vehicles have any chance of coming up with a good answer. They can't. There isn't a good answer. But they can talk about, they'll say, they cost electricity. They don't cause any CO2 in the atmosphere. Not that it would make any difference, but probably because of peer pressure. They don't get into that. I don't think Consumer Report's about hiding stuff or particularly sticking up for the left side. They are a little bit lefty, but not dramatically left. They're kind of Democrat moderate, which is okay. There's some things that I'm a Democrat moderate about, though. There's one section that talked about used cars they love by make, model, and year. They have some electric vehicles on that list. And I just couldn't understand that because buying a used electric vehicle is like buying a pair of worn shoes. Sure, they're shoes, but there's nothing, they don't look good. They're worn out. They're worn shoes. They've already fit to someone else's soul. There's no positive thing to it, but they are shoes. Well, it is a vehicle. That's about all you can say about it. Those people are buying used probably for a budget reason. So EVs should be out because maintenance is going to be horrible for many reasons. I mentioned it in last week's episode. Not just the batteries with warranties that are vague and have boundaries. When picking a used vehicle, the first thing I look for is a good brand. That's the most important thing you can look for. Get a good brand. Look at the good brands. If you want a pickup truck, you look for a good brand. That's all there is to it. And then from there, you find a truck that fits other criteria. But you want to pick a brand first. I've given out lists on a few of my episodes, but if you stick to the top half of a Consumer Report list, you'll be okay. Now, number 9 is not going to be as good as number 1, maybe, but number 9 might actually be number 1 with those guys. They get the top half right and the bottom half right. They're not so good about the order because Some of the people that do articles have their own axe to grind, and they've got their car that they're, who knows what's going on there. You want to know about the global warming and why they're not good? Besides my episode, one of the best minds that covers information on global warming is a guy by the name of Alex Epstein. Alex Epstein has his own podcast, his own news report. He's the sharpest guy that I've run into when it comes to global warming and fossil fuels versus electric. More so about fossil fuels versus electric. You can look at the facts. You can say what you want and feel what you want. You can feel any way you want, but it doesn't change the facts. How you feel has nothing to do with what the facts are. Anyway, that was last week, mostly. So, if you like the show, please take a couple of minutes and do a review on whatever podcast source you use. You go on and do a review about me, I'd really appreciate it. I don't know if everybody has done it. They certainly haven't. There's room there, and it's one of those things, play it forward. That's certainly not much to pay. If you've already done a review, thank you so much. If you want to be a great friend and relative and hero, tell your friends about Deal Talk. When they listen to it and they come up with some ways to save money, and you will, everybody will find something they didn't know, they'll get a hold of you and thank you. Because they save money. Everybody saves money. I don't care who you are. You got to tell everybody you know about Deal Talk. If you want some written material with you to carry with you when you're out shopping, get a copy of The Informed Buyer off from Amazon or from Barnes & Noble. You can download it to your phone or your tablet. Yep, carry that with you. It's all types of reminder information in there. You can be reading it, looking at it right where you're sitting with a salesman. So make sure you covered everything the right way. You didn't leave any stone unturned. And it costs $3 for that. Yeah, The Informed Buyer is $3. Boy, I'll tell you, after inflation, anything is $3? There ain't much. I'll tell you that. Although, my Starbucks coffee hasn't gone up much in the last year. It went up for a while, and then it stopped going up. I think it was $3.63 for one cup of coffee, and an hour later, it's gone. For $3, you can buy The Informed Buyer, and you'll have it this month and next month and the month after that, and the month after that, and you'll have it for good. Can't beat that deal. Spend the $3. Anyway, dealers are using every technique they can to lure customers to buy used units. Because of the new vehicle shortage, right? There's a short supply. It's better now than it was, but it's still short. You still got to catch up. At the same time, optimize every profit they can because they're not selling as many vehicles as they did, at least new ones, and so they're trying to optimize their profits. What better to make up for lost new vehicle sales than with FCPO vehicles, factory certified pre-owned? What is this factory certified pre-owned? For those of you that don't know, unlike vehicles acquired through a private seller or those purchased from independent used car dealers or your standard used vehicle from a franchise dealer, certified pre-owned vehicles are vehicles that our franchise dealer offers that have been additionally inspected and refurbished according to a standard specified amount of reconditioning, which is laid out by the manufacturer, and every manufacturer has a little different list. These vehicles carry the manufacturer-backed warranty. They usually extends the length of the original warranty is how the manufacturer extended warranty, but it might be out of warranty and it could still have some warranty on it for being a certified pre-owned. They're sold exclusively through new franchised automobile dealerships that match the make of the vehicle. That's what's important. They got to match the make of the vehicle. In other words, only models that are the dealership's brand of that particular franchise can be certified by that dealer. So a Honda dealer can factory certify Hondas. They cannot factory certify Toyotas or Fords or Chevys. Only Hondas. Hondas are certified by Honda dealers, Fords by Ford dealers, Chevy by Chevy dealers, and so on. Typically, these vehicles are within a specified age and mileage. Hard to say what that would be. I think it can go back as far as 3 years. Maybe 4 years. If you count the current model year, so it was a brand new car that got turned in during the model year, you could go back 4 years then. You're going to have reasonable mileage. I think 60,000 miles is the limit. Some luxury models, I think, go higher on the mileage because they're supposedly built to last longer. Keep in mind that when a dealer says their vehicles are certified, it may not mean factory certified to begin with. So if you're going by a used car dealer and it says certified used cars, that's what I'm talking about. Every used car dealer will say, my cars are certified. That's just the way it is. That's part of the sales pitch, right? You need to ask the question, and it can only be a new car dealer, so you don't have to worry about used car dealers. They aren't factory certified at a used car dealer, only at a new car dealer. And when it says a factory certified vehicle, you need to ask them, right? You got to ask them, is this a factory certified vehicle? Factory certified, and they'll tell you. Part of that answer you can decide for yourself. For instance, if it's a certified vehicle at a Honda store and it's a Honda, they're probably talking about factory certified then. I don't think they would try to confuse you. I don't think they even offer certification in another way. They don't use that word with the other vehicles. It's only a specific brand that matches that particular franchise is certified. Let's compare factory certified to standard vehicles, because that's what you'll be doing. Certified pre-owned vehicles have come to be an important contributor for the auto dealer. It's almost like another franchise. They sell new cars, used cars, and certified cars. So it's 3 levels for them. And it's showing annual growth in the industry, certified vehicles. I mean, a lot of people don't know, and they don't listen to the podcast. Everybody in the country listens to the podcast. I think it was 10,000 people last month. You know, there's 300 million in the country. So there's nothing I can do about that. Now in these crazy times, a used is nearly the price of a new. So CPO vehicles actually take the price of a used to a level that's the new unit actually should be at. So you might find a 2-year-old vehicle that's a certified pre-owned that's the same price as a brand new vehicle, MSRP. And then the new vehicle that's MSRP will be over MSRP because they don't have any. But it wouldn't be uncommon to have that happen. The CPO program offered by dealers, it is a chance for them to make money on this vehicle that they probably sold before, right? And it builds dealership loyalty, and they give you the impression that you're buying a new vehicle. They kind of, you know, they massage that impression. They want you to think that, although it's not. The process of certifying is usually an additional 100 or 200 point check that ensures the vehicle is up to a factory certified level. Now, I don't know. Have you ever looked at the service manual on a new vehicle for your 24,000 mile service? Let's say you got your 2-year service coming up. You open it up and it gives you a list of what's in there. Most of that stuff in there is smoke and mirrors. It's just cannon fodder. It's nothing there. It's just stuff they can say, we checked this, we checked that. Yeah, fine. You know, you can check the tire pressure. That's not something that would make any difference. Things like tires, maintenance items, cosmetic appearance must all meet a strict level to be a factory certified vehicle. They have a level for that, right? Used vehicles with prior serious damage are disqualified. So if you've got a vehicle that's been wrecked, it can't be certified. Well, if they know it's been wrecked. If it's been in a flood, and they may not know, but they could certify. But electric vehicle certified will not include an OEM new battery. Like when you go to buy a certified used electric vehicle, 3 years old, it's not going to have a new battery. They're not going to certify it that much. They're going to certify and change the same things they do on a gas vehicle. They're going to change the tires and the brakes and things like that, the things it needs, and make sure that it looks good and bring the cosmetic appearance up to a certain level. And certification does not restore a vehicle to new. It just certifies it's in the factory level of acceptable condition. Even the interior must meet specific cosmetic standards on a CPO vehicle. The benefits of certified are a level of reconditioning that is a high standard. But as you'll begin to see, it's an overdose of standards. Absolutely. Since the shortage, you must be careful that a vehicle that had a bad, background didn't get certified. Hello, Carfax, right? You got to be sure of that. There are to be as much like a new vehicle as possible, and the prior to the shortage, 20% less than the comparable new. For a 2-year-old, approximately 35%. For a 4-year-old, what would that be? About 40%. But because of the shortage and the way the market is right now, the certified pre-owned is selling for what the new one should sell for. Now a CPO can be selling at what you would call MSRP on the new one, but you're not going to be in that store. You won't be if they have if they have certified pre-owned selling for MSRP. They're not going to offer you a new one for MSRP. Chances are they don't even have one. It's almost additional market for the dealer. But now it's just another deal because the availability is casually brought about by the dealer. So they talk about, they don't come up and run ads saying, we don't have any cars, come on in. They don't. They'll let you get there and then they'll show you the CPO and they try to impress you with all the list of things they've done and how they've certified it by the factory to kind of give you the impression that they've taken it back to new. That's what they'll try to convince you. They're designed for these customers that can't afford a new vehicle or the type of customer that wants to chisel their way a little value, without just the old-fashioned way, right? That kind of stuff. That's still true because new are $3,000 or $4,000 over MSRP in a lot of places. So they can get that kind of money for it. To be certified, a vehicle has to have a good former life and brought back up to its better state. The dealership will provide a checklist that shows exactly how thorough it is. You can look at their checklist, and it's going to be impressive. There'll be a lot of things on it. But when you really look at them, there really isn't much there. I mean, think about a new vehicle. Think about the maintenance you do. What can you do? You change the oil and the fluids. You can put a new filter in the transmission, a new filter in the engine. You can put new tires on, new brakes. You can repack the bearings. You can fix a rip in the seat. That's what they're doing. And they'll have all these other things. Well, we checked this and we checked that. Yeah. Right? Often the warranty is an extension of the original factory warranty, so it's already got a factory warranty, and they'll offer some sort of an extension to make it seem more like a new vehicle. The certification process can add other options as well, like roadside assistance and things like that. They might say, you're buying a certified, so we'll include roadside assistance and stuff. Sounds great. What can go wrong? I mean, what is wrong with a certified pre-owned program? Be sure and read everything before you choose a certified pre-owned. Consider these things, right? In many cases, the additional certified warranty is primarily powertrain coverage. It will seldom cover wear items like brakes and belts and hoses and, things like that. It's just powertrain. I mean, when's the last time you seen a motor blow up? That doesn't happen. Paint and the like are not covered, so that wouldn't be part of the certification. And missing scheduled maintenance, for you buy it, and if you don't follow the scheduled maintenance at the factory, the factory dealer, well, then your certified extension would be void. So they're tying you in with this warranty to do service at their dealership, right? One big downside of certified pre-owned, and maybe the biggest downside factor far and away, is the cost difference. It can be, and usually is, substantial. It isn't free to the dealer to begin with, right? He has to buy a certification package from the factory. And in turn, definitely not free to you. But he doesn't mark it up just the package he pays for. He can get more for the vehicle, and part of how they get the dealer to go along with a certified program is by convincing him they'll get more for their used cars. Their prices will go up. Even though cost went up, prices will go up more than cost. During the crazy times, you can find a non-certified unit having similar use and similar mileage. It will cost you significantly less. The factory charges the dealer for certification and also requires maintenance work that has a significant cost. So when the dealer gets the vehicle, they're going to certify it. They have to do all these things to it. It might be $1,000 worth of work. And then they have to pay the factory $500 to get the certification. And then they mark it up to $3,000, so they make double their money. And they put it on a lot and make it, it looks like a new vehicle. Or they try to convince you that it's just like a new vehicle. A certified 2-year-old used vehicle would normally sell for about 20% more than a similar vehicle that's not certified. So if you're looking at a used vehicle that's $20,000 as certified, you're probably talking about a vehicle that, if it wasn't certified, you could buy for $17,000. Figure the percentage on the price you are buying. That's a huge difference in price. If you're purchasing a 2-year-old vehicle with 30,000 miles, that's the average, there's still factory warranty left. You can still buy extended coverage as well. You can get a Carfax and an auto check to see if it's had any bad history like wrecks and stuff from the Carfax. Almost any used vehicle dealer will provide a Carfax for any auto check for any vehicle they have. As far as cosmetics, you can see by looking yourself. A normal dealer usually details a vehicle for sale anyway, but CPO dealers is a little fussier, you know. They might be a little fussier about things on the inside that would be taken care of on it, but on a normal used, it wouldn't be. I don't know what it'd be, maybe a, scratch in the dash or something minor. But they take care of them on a certified, so to give the impression of being new. On the other hand, you can shampoo the carpets or touch up paint chips if it saves you a significant amount of money, I'm sure. I don't know about you, but I do my own cars myself anyway. So keep in mind that the certified isn't any more financeable with the standard bank. And even more importantly, the higher price means that there'll be more interest, doesn't it? And more sales tax. Yeah, doesn't it? And a larger monthly payment. Yeah. That's all part of buying that certified vehicle. And the bank's not going to do any better rate. If you're looking at a 2-year-old's vehicle with 20,000 miles on it, they don't care if it's certified or not. The bank couldn't care less. They're not going to charge you a higher rate because yours isn't certified. No. Down payments are common request right now because vehicles are priced out of the security level of the bank, right? So if they're way over the sticker or way over the value because of the market, well, banks ask for money down then to make that up. Many times rates at the local banks are just as good for standard used as any certified vehicle could be. Yeah, it wouldn't make any difference. You'll find it out if you go and shop the banks. Always check the banks and go shopping banks before you go shopping for cars, always. If certification vehicles sold for nearly the same price as other vehicles, I would be on board. No question about it. If you could say I'm a dealer and I certify them and I don't charge you for it, that would be cool. I think a dealer should be certification as a reason to buy from them at a regular book value, not a roast beef price like they come up with. If you pay $2,500 more for a certified vehicle than a similar standard used vehicle, aren't you paying in advance for the things you hope to avoid by buying a certified? Isn't that kind of what you're doing, right? Because they change all these parts that aren't worn out to make it so it looks like new. Low mileage is a good thing that makes a statement about the value and the future of a used vehicle, certified or not certified. Dealers recon used vehicles before they sell them anyway. It's not as high a standard as a CPO, but it's still a dependable level of mechanical verification and cosmetic cleanup. You don't need a super high, standard. I mean, if they clean the rugs and shampoo the seats, and anyway, what difference does it make, right? The tires and the maintenance items are not new on a standard pre-owned, but they're at least at a level of, predictable use. You lose those extra miles from the current tires on a certified. So when you buy a certified vehicle, they've taken off the tires, they were half worn, let's say, and they put on new ones. You get the new vehicle, you've lost the use of those tires that came off, half the mileage, let's say. Maybe they were good for another 25,000 miles, 20,000 miles. You lost that because they took it off. Whereas if you buy a used vehicle with them on there, you can drive those 20,000, then you buy the new vehicle, tires. Yeah, and you've saved $3,000 or $2,500 or $3,000, you can afford to buy the tires. But you didn't give up that mileage that was part of the value. You see what I'm saying? You're not giving up things. Chances are any warranty difference is purchasable on the standard vehicle, and many times it will be longer and has less deductible than the certified vehicle warranty. I know there are certified vehicle warranties that are a specific warranty for certified vehicles, and they don't follow the same criteria as a one a dealership would sell you. The value bounces back and forth, but it's never going to be there on the certified because of the price difference. Some people say that certified appeals because of peace of mind, right? But my peace of mind comes from making a smart purchase. Sorry, I'm not motivated by the other thing. It's me. If I know I made a good deal, that's my peace of mind. And that's comparing a 2-year-old used to a certified used. So let's talk about that. If you're really concerned with every little detail, then new is where you should be looking anyway. Many people assume the certified is now like a new vehicle. No reconditioning needed. you get better finance terms, full factory warranty, you break it in. That is not so. None of that is true. If you're paying $18,000 instead of $15,000 for a used vehicle just because of certification, that's a huge amount to pay to get a few more miles out of the tires. It would only be a little time delay compared to the not certified condition. You would still need tires. So if you bought a non-certified vehicle, you could go maybe 20,000 miles on the tires that come with it. You wouldn't even have to buy tires. Whereas on the certified vehicle, that you've lost those units, those used tires, and you're getting new ones. So you get the distance of the new tires, but you're giving up the difference. Comparable used vehicles with similar mileage, one certified, one is not. Assuming you check the Carfax and the auto check, so you know that they haven't been wrecked, and you do that in either one. Standard vehicle pass, the difference in price, interest, tax, is a lot more than the future maintenance and warranty costs would be if you needed them. Yes, the difference in price will be so much more that you could do all those things and still have money left over. And it'd be up to you. And you'd have the gain of all the things you didn't replace until they were bad, as opposed to picking it up on the new vehicle with them already done. Obviously, I'm not a promoter of certified, assuming you do all the checks on the vehicle yourself. Some of your auto sites on the net with just certified, but don't be fooled. I know they say certified, oh great, they're wonderful. Like, no, they're not. They're being paid by car dealers to say that. Same thing. They say whatever's, they're getting, they're all on the pay. That's the way it is. At the end of 4 years, comparing the used vehicle standard one to the certified used vehicle, and it's 4 years after you bought both of them, sitting side by side, they'll have comparable values. Original certification does not add one iota to the value of that used vehicle 4 years from now. Doesn't add a nickel to the resale number. Your cost of ownership for the certified will include the difference in cost for the certification to begin with. So if it costs you $4,000 over 4 years to own them, on the certified it costs you $7,000. Because when they come in used, which by now they're let's say 6 years old, so it's 4 years after you bought a 2-year-old vehicle, 6 years old, there's going to be a difference in the values based on that. They're going to be worth the same, and that's where the deal gets thrown off. Original certification doesn't add a nickel to the resale number. I know it's not a happy thing to hear, but that's how it is. Even if you had some maintenance costs with a standard vehicle, I'm quite sure those costs wouldn't be anywhere near the difference you paid for certification. So if you paid $2,500 more for the certified, you bought the standard one for $2,500 less, same mileage, same condition, just didn't have the certifications done, and you cleaned it up yourself, or cleaned up additionally yourself, you might buy a set of tires. What's that, $600? You might buy a bunch of servicing filters and stuff. You might spend $800 or $900. That's still not $3,000. And that's if you did. Maybe you won't. It's like gas filters. Gas filters are designed to be replaced. In the manual, it says every 15,000 miles. Well, I say you replace them when they go bad. They might not ever go bad. But that's the important thing. The outlay would be a big difference in how much you paid, but value will be the same. Peace of mind is important, but it comes from many places. Wasting a couple $1,000s would definitely hurt my peace of mind. I don't like that. I would have a problem with that. Yes, sir, I don't want to waste any money. Be aware as a buyer that certified increases the selling price, and that causes some dealers to claim certification on vehicles they're not factory certified. You must ask and know how it works. Because a dealer could say these are certified vehicles, assuming that you'll think they're factory certified. You got to ask them, is this a factory certified used vehicle? The difference in price is significant. And you'd be paying for nothing because they didn't certify it. Real CPO vehicles can only be sold by the franchise dealer. So first of all, you've got to be looking at a used vehicle at the franchise. So if you've got to be at a Honda store to be looking at a used Honda for factory certification, or a Chevy store to look for a certified Chevrolet, only at a Chevy store. The level of reconditioning that the factory requires is much greater than the certification an imposter company requires. They might have some imposter company like warranty companies. You can buy a factory warranty, you can buy some other company, and there's a big difference in the quality because when it comes to other outside companies, not the factory, their customer is the dealer. You're just the one using it. When it comes to a factory certified warranty or a factory extended warranty, you're the customer because they're thinking about the future business. Only real factory certification has any extra value when it's used. My advice to you is to skip certification as an addition and just weigh the vehicle on its merits. Low mileage with a good Carfax is a good bet, maybe a lot better. Without factory certification, it will be a lot less money. If you have trouble finding the vehicle you want, not certified, because if you find late model used Hondas at a Honda store, they're going to be certified. Or late model Toyotas at a Toyota store, they're going to be certified. Any dealer is going to certify them because they get more money for them. They get all that service work that they do getting them ready for the certification lot. So there's a whole bunch of money involved in the dealer. So that's every department in the store makes money from certified vehicles. So they're going to try to do that. But there is a way around that, right? Go to the opposite franchise to look for the vehicle. You want a used Honda? Go to a Toyota vehicle dealership. Want to use Toyota? Go to a Honda store. Want to use Ford? Go to a Chevy store. Want to use Chevy? Go to a Ford store. They're not going to be certified at those stores because they can't certify someone else's product. A Chevy store can only certify Chevys. So you're not going to have that added to the warranty price. Same with luxury vehicles. Compare and you'll see that factory certification is expensive. It's like paying all of your future possible maintenance costs in advance. That's what it is, like prepaid maintenance in advance where you pay for all the maintenance now, whether you need it or not. That's what it is, and it's not a positive thing. I mean, you could say peace of mind. Yeah, well, I couldn't find a new one that gave me peace of mind. Okay, if you don't mind spending an extra $3,000, because if you'd have bought one that wasn't certified, you could have done one of those few things they do yourself, and think of the fun you'd have. You buy one that's not certified, even if it needs tires, and you go around and you buy tires. Think of the fun. You could pick out what tires you want. You might want Michelin's or, those are the best tires in the world. Or you might want Goodyear are good ones too, You might want to change from what they come with from the factory. Without factory certification, one thing's for sure, it'll be a lot less money. If you have trouble finding that vehicle, like I said, go to the competition. The same with a luxury vehicle. Go to the competition. If you're caught up in having the additional peace of mind that buying a new vehicle gives on a certified pre-owned, then buy a new one. Certification is not a new vehicle. Nope, not even close. It's a used vehicle with a maintenance paid in advance. That's what it is. That's all that it is. It's nothing else. Well, that's Deal Talk for this week. If you have a question, request, or even comment, please call, text, or email me. Callers or texters, it's 407-801-4071. That's 407-801-4071. For email, it's dealtalk@mail.com. Please don't forget to do a review and do yourself a favor by getting a copy of The Informed Buyer from Amazon or Nook. It's $3. $3 lousy bucks, and you'll be happy about it. When you're done with it, give it to somebody else. Transfer it over to somebody else's unit. Want to be a hero? Tell your friends and neighbors. When they save money, they don't call me. When they save money, they'll call you. And thank you. That's what that'll do for you. And remember, every payment you get's got to be CPI, complete payment information. Amount, months, rate, any down payment required to get to that particular payment, the number of months, all those things are part of it. And every time they quote you a payment, you get that list of things with it, every single time. Don't let them, it's the same. No, write it down on the sheet next to the payment. It only takes you a minute. Not like you're putting them out. And if you're going to buy it outright because you're doing your own financing or you got cash, you want to know what's involved in the price. You don't want them to tell you, it's this price plus fees or whatever. No. Give me a price that includes everything. I want to know the price including tax, plates, dealer fee, options, everything there is involved in buying it. I want to know the OTD out the door.